Hi, Stu here, up on Dartmoor once again to look at an F10 series Xenon 2 Plus. So this is the extended porch 2. The Plus means it's got extended porch. This one uses alley poles. So let's get it pitched. It's a kind of classic 3-season tunnel tent. Dig out the poles and the pegs, got them. Pop that to one side for a second. We're going to put the poles up first. This model's got 3 poles. The standard one has got 2 poles. And the poles are colour coded, so we've got a red pole and 2 blue poles. So we're going to peg the back of this tent out first. Make it secure to the ground. Then we're going to pop the poles in. So we're going to start at the back here, which is the red pole, the slightly shorter one. Find the eyelet for that one. And lay him down. On to the next one. So this tent pitches as one, which is really nice. So the inner, you have to attach the inner yourself. So make sure if you buy one of these tents, you do that at home first before going out on the hill, because it is a bit fiddly. It's not too difficult, but you won't be doing it if you've been out all day in the wet, horrible walking and it's blowing a gale, and then you've got to clip your inner in. So that's the next one, and lay that down. The pole sleeves on these are also lay flat or like low profile pole sleeves. So when it's up, we'll be able to show you that, and it means that the wind doesn't catch. There's nowhere for the wind to catch. It makes it a bit more aerodynamic, less flappy, essentially. More stable. So last eyelet there. Okay, get a peg. So there we are, up and kind of livable right away. That's it, that's how quick it was to pitch. Super quick. Now we sort of go around and make sure it's all guyed out and secure. Where the poles come through on this side, there is a tension strap, which you want to make sure is pulled in reasonably tight to help give the pole a bit more tension and reduce the chance of the pole popping out if it's in windy conditions. The nice thing is Vango give you enough pegs to peg at every pegging point. The truth cannot be said for a lot of brands that don't give you enough pegs. They give you kind of the trail amount of pegs so that they keep the weight down of their pack sizes. What I'm pegging out now is the pole loop, this one here. You want to make sure that's pegged in under a bit of tension so that it doesn't bounce around if it's really windy. If it moves around too much, it's more likely that that pole can pop out. With a tunnel tent, you want to try and pitch it end on into the wind, and preferably you want the porch into the wind. This way, when the wind blows and pushes against here and compresses this down, it's going to compress into the porch where there isn't the inner. So if this was the sleeping area, the wind would push in, and that would affect where you're sleeping. It's more likely you're going to get affected while you're trying to sleep, and condensation dripping through. Also, with a tunnel tent, it's very important to peg out all the guy lines, as that's what gives the tent its strength. So there is a footprint available for this tent. The footprint covers the porch area and the sleeping area, so you've got some protection for the ground sheet. The ground sheet on this tent is a 70 denier PE coated nylon with a 6,000mm hydrostatic head, so it's pretty high, pretty durable floor on this tent for such a lightweight tent. It's about 2.4 kilos, I think this model is, which split between two people isn't too bad at all. And a lot of that's down to the fact that they're using a lightweight fly sheet. It's a 15 denier silicon coated nylon with a 3,000mm hydrostatic head. So it's silicon coated on the outside, PU coated on the inside. Silicon coating on the outside helps to keep the weight of the fly sheet down whilst maintaining a good tear strength, and helps to improve UV resistance, so damage from being out in the sunshine. And then PU coating on the inside means they can factory tape all the seams to make sure the tent's completely waterproof. Also, PU coating on the inside helps to keep the price down. If it was silicon coated on both sides, it's going to be a much more expensive tent. So you also get in here the pegs thing. I'll show you. It's a couple of ground sheet pegs, which whether you want to carry those or not is up to you, but these work to peg these cords down so you don't trip over them. Nice to have at a campsite, but I probably wouldn't bother about taking those out on the hill. So there it is, the F10 series Xenon 2 Plus tent. Sam's going to come in now and we'll get a closer look and talk through the inside features of it as well. Right, so here we are inside the Xenon 2 Plus. First thing, massive extended porch, loads of room in here. If you want to use this tent for cycle touring, there's plenty of space with panniers in here. Yeah, it's great for a two-person backpacking tent because you've got loads of room for both your packs in the front. You can cook in this porch nice and easily with the doors open. It's got a door on each side too, so no matter which way the wind's blowing or the rain's coming from, you should be able to get one door open that's out of the rain. The doors are two-way as well, so what I mean by that is this zip, there's another zip on the inside, and if you can see this side here, but we can have that open for venting if we wanted to, without the door being completely open. The other thing you probably notice is this here on both sides. It's on this pole and the other pole at the front. This is Van Gogh's tension band system. So these, you want to, in really bad weather, you want to pull them a little bit tighter than they are at the moment. Slide that down. And what that does is create tension in a triangular shape from top of the pole down to the ground here. And that is going to make the pole way more secure in really windy conditions. So it's going to stop that movement. It's really solid now compared to the front pole, which is a bit more bendy. That's kind of shears it up. It's almost like an internal guy line to give the tent a bit more strength. But they can be annoying and get in the way, so Van Gogh have, not Van Gogh, Force 10, sorry, they're clipped, so you can just unclip them, hide them out of the way if you don't want them in there. They should only really be used in really rough conditions. You don't want to have them tight all the time. And you don't want to be pulling them really tight because that puts too much pressure into the system. By that I mean you're putting all the stitch lines and things under too much stress. So the front two poles have both got that. The inner tent, super long, plenty of space for two people on pads, loads of pockets. You've got 4 pockets on each side down low, and then a couple of high up pockets as well. So plenty of room for storage. It's a great tent to be in, like a touring tent. You might spend quite a bit of time on if you're going to be in it for kind of 2 or 3 weeks. It's a really roomy, livable tent. Not too heavy a weight penalty. Venting, there's a vent at the front, high up, which is mesh backed, and a vent at the back of the tent on the outside, which is going to help to kind of funnel wind through across the top of the tent, drawing all that moisture out. The door on this one, you've got a mesh fly screen, which you can have covered or undone. So most of the time you want that open to increase the airflow, and then if it's really cold, you'd want that closed, and that's going to stop any wind coming through and taking out the heat from the inner you've generated. And it's got a mesh vent at the back, the foot end of the tent as well. So this is like I said, a really good tent for backpacking, cycle touring. If you want a lightweight tunnel tent with extended porch, it's going to be good in 3-season conditions. You could probably use it in some winter conditions, especially in the UK. But if you're going to be kind of like Scottish winter in the snow a lot, the fact that the fly sheet doesn't go to the ground all the way around, it's going to make it not quite warm enough. So that's the F10 series Xenon 2 Plus tent. Any questions, pop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.